What's going on, everybody? It's Webster Style Brian Sapp here with another NRW checkpoint. Brian, my brother, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Well, we got some news this week that it's not in the show notes, but I'm pretty sure you heard about it. Square Enix has finally started to listen to what we've been saying for a while, how just being exclusive is not helping their bottom line. So they are now going to aggressively go multi-platform, which is smart. But we knew that really, we saw that, and I think we said something about that when Forspoken came out.
Right.
You know, and how that, if I remember correctly, we talked about it, the fine print in the commercial says something about a 2-year window of exclusivity with,
right.
This gets PS5, not even PC, and the fact that gaming is getting tight, and it's the consoles, while we love them, are not selling like they used to. More than likely, I think the Xbox Series systems will probably surpass the Xbox One, but it doesn't look like the PlayStation 5 is going to surpass the PlayStation 4, at least until a major price drop.
Right.
No company is trying to do right now. So it's very interesting since we have that, and then they focus primarily on, at least with their major titles, Final Fantasy remakes, as well as Forspoken, which is really their a new IP. I'm gonna say a first new IP, because they had all the stuff they did with their Western studios, but like a major push IP that they had in that sort of Final Fantasy vein. And now, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I don't revel in this at all, it bit them in the butt. The money they got from the deal from Sony wasn't enough to cover their losses. And just like many other weeks, and I don't know how many, because I kind of heard this offhand and didn't do more research into it. They cut people too. As unfortunately ongoing sort of, every week we're reading about layoffs from some company, some game studio, and it really speaks to the state of not gaming specifically, but AAA gaming specifically.
Yeah.
I'll say. Because I'm not saying you don't have these issues, but anytime we hear of layoffs, it's because typically companies, AAA games, did not perform that way. Or if it's like a big conglomerate like Embracer, who then split themselves into 3 companies, they didn't get an investment deal. Subsequently, some of the other games that they put out didn't sell as well as they had hoped. And again, not saying they didn't sell well, but it's all these projections and forecasts. And while I get it in business, how much did you actually make in profits from it? If it's just that you didn't make enough, or what you thought you would, like, that's a bit different than actually making profit. But it seems like, at least the way the reports are written, a lot of it is they didn't meet forecasts. So I don't know. We said this last week when we talked about the Bethesda closings. 2024 is going to be a really interesting year for gaming. I mean, it started out that way, and with all of the layoffs, we're going to see, I predict we're going to see more and more consolidation of the industry. I don't know. I don't like all the doom and gloom. Respectfully, this is not the game Crasher 84, whenever it was. This is not the same sort of deal. And the way, like, people talking about Xbox is over. I'm like, look, I don't agree with some of the stuff they're doing, but there was no doom and gloom when Sony closed all those studios last year. You didn't have the same sort of reporting. So keep saying, if it's doom and gloom for Xbox, it's doom and gloom for Sony. If it's not doom and gloom for Sony, it's not doom and gloom for Xbox. But Square Enix, as a private company, this doesn't bode well for them if they don't turn it around. I'll put it that way.
No, and I can agree. I don't necessarily understand what's going on with all the layoffs and things, I can only assume, capitalism is doing what it does.
Yeah.
And the people at the top are trying to keep what they have by cutting the people at the bottom, which, should be used to it at this point, but still something that's, I don't think it's necessarily necessary. But at the end of the day, like you said, if one company is not, if it's not a nail in the coffin for one, it can't be for the other. Because
Right.
I don't know, as much as console wars are a thing, and people have chosen their respective sides or whatever, these consoles, they still all need each other in order to survive. In my opinion, anyway,
I agree.
I don't think the fanfare around gaming would be as crazy as it is if we did have multiple consoles and they were all competing at such high levels. So I don't know. Hopefully the industry figures out a way to turn itself around. I really just think that the rich people want to stay rich and they cutting off the smaller folks, and that's crazy. But at the end of the day, I guess business is business.
Yep, I agree. So it's interesting because first up this week we have Homeland 3, who is actually from one of those studios from or formerly of the Embracer Group, Gearbox, as a publisher of this, who were subsequently bought by 2K. So Homeland 3 is a 3D real-time strategy game set in space according to the developers following the responses to partner surveys. The game boasts an extensive campaign mode, giving solo gameplay an important role. As with the other games in the franchise, combat gameplay is built around an effective 3D ballistic system. One of the new major gameplay features is huge megaliths and trenches, massive space structures that will allow coverage strategies for small spacecraft. The game includes a new co-op mode that will fuse Homeworld's RTS gameplay with a rogue-like structure. So that's Homeworld. We are watching the trailer for that one.
Okay, that sounds cool.
All right, next up, and that was just on PC, if I didn't state that. Next up, we have Delusion. A lot of PC onlys this week. So that's nice to see. Considering, so many people buy games on PC, it's nice seeing some just PC only love there as well.
Right.
So next we have Delusion, PC, an open world role-playing game. Delusion takes place in a series of floating islands known as the
Oniric?
Yeah, Oniric. Thank you. Isles. Centuries after the apocalypse that made the surface uninhabitable. Wait a minute.
These weird names.
Floating islands above the interesting. Okay. These lands are ruled by the Apostolic Union, which is taking repressive measures to seize control, including the ban of worship. The player awakes as a prisoner of the Apostolic Union and is offered freedom in exchange for the task of hunting the leader of the outlaw Dark Star mercenaries, Vela Kalos. In the course of their pursuit, the player receives the patronage of a forsaken god, but there's no worship, and becomes embroiled in a struggle with ramifications for all of the Orenic Isles. Interesting. Okay.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah, we are not.
I guess at one point there was worship if they have a forsaken god.
Yep. It's like control people.
Yeah.
Rid of worship or go for that full religious sort of manipulation. Or actually a little bit of both, because sometimes when movies do it right, when they get rid of worship, when they outlaw it, they end up just worshiping whatever like sort of society they have now, but it's not a god as of the society or the man or the ruler or what have you, or the ideology, not necessarily of that god anymore. So always his head in some way, shape, or form, these sort of things. So I guess even in the case of this game, based on the description, that happens as well.
Interesting.
Yep, very interesting. Next up, we have Baladins, which is on PC. Embark on a whimsical journey and bring joy to a bright fantasy world in this role-playing adventure for 1 to 4 players. Craft your own story and solve quests how you like, but beware, for every time you fail, the dragon will send you back in time. Next up, we have Please Fix the Road. This is on PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX, and Switch and PC. But it dropped in PC back in 2022. So it's been there for a while. It was only $9. It's only $9.99 on PC, so I'm assuming it's about the same price on the other platform. So a very reasonably priced game. Please Fix the Road is a colorful, minimalistic, laid-back, and casual puzzle game in which is probably not hard to guess you're fixing roads.
Right.
Road repair doesn't have to be beautiful, and it just needs to get the job done. Your mom will like this game too.
What? Yeah. Okay. So it's a family friendly game, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Right.
Next up, we have Slayers X Terminal Aftermath, Vengeance of the Slayers. That's a long title.
Right. It's like a lot of action.
Right. It's on the PS4, 5, and Switch. It actually dropped last year for Xbox and PC, and it's actually on Game Pass. And I did not know that. So I'm like, oh,
Okay.
wow. This looks pretty good.
Right.
Okay. So, got what it takes to be X Slayer. 7 weapons, blood, and gore. Twisted music by C Page and Psycho Syndicate. Why are they spell Syndicate that way? Maps where you can blow up everything. It's awesome. This is a description, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't write
Right.
Started making it in 1998 in high school with my friend, and now I'm 37. So I have life experience now. That is
Okay.
a description. Okay.
Right.
I can't wait to see what this game looks like.
If it sounds like the main character is talking the description.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Interesting.
Next up is a game that we're all familiar with, but it's Ghost of Tsushima. One has also been, if you've been on a video game, not quite dirt sheets, but video game YouTubers and whatnot, they've been talking about this and Helldivers 2 and some of the things Sony's done over the past couple of weeks. So it's been in the news, not for good reasons, but Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut is making its way over to PC. A Storm is Coming. Venture into the complete Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut on PC. Forge your own path through this open world action adventure and uncover its hidden wonders. Brought to you by Sucker Punch Productions, Nixus Software, and PlayStation Studios.
I feel like Sony is finally starting to do what I feel like it should have been done a long time ago, which is find a way to branch. Because Sony they make computer products.
Right.
Like they got laptops and monitors and hardware, towers and everything like that. Same way we have a Game Pass for Xbox or even Xbox has like an app on the Microsoft platforms, whatever. Sony needs to do the same thing. Have PlayStation on Sony PC products. I feel like they starting to try to push in that direction, which is why we had the incident with Helldivers 2, and why we getting some of these like popular PlayStation games coming to PC. But I don't know. They need to figure that out and get it done sooner. Because why would you not? What happened?
They're going to figure it out now because they want their money.
Right. But I'm saying they could have been established this. Like, why not connect all your ecosystems? But
they really could have, but a lot of it's leadership, and I think a lot of it is the technical capability, which is why they bought Nixus a couple years ago, and then was bearing fruit. And I also think that it's weird because for the most part, no one ever digs into Microsoft for dropping games on console and PC at the same time.
Because why would they?
And that's the thing. So I don't understand why. Well, let me phrase that.
Because Steam is there.
Well, not just that. Microsoft, if you buy through the Microsoft store as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like PC gaming is a real thing. And Microsoft make games, and they have their own dedicated app and storefront on there. So why not?
And they make Windows, so why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
But I said that they never rip on them. With Sony, and the funny thing is with Sony, it's always the fanboys. It's like the people who give Sony money, and they're the ones that are most upset and cry or yell the loudest with day and date PC or when
I don't get it.
drops on PC. And that, for the life of me, at least online, again, it's always a select few because none of these fanatics represent normal gamers.
Right.
And they are a small subset, but they are loud.
Right.
Their viewpoints can really color argument one way or another. And the fact that you see so many that are online and they're upset and they're on Twitter, first of all, I'm thinking, don't y'all have lives? Like, for real.
That's their lives. They're playing the games. Then that's it.
Don't get me wrong. We talked earlier about, even last week, about Bethesda closing and them closing specifically the studio behind Hi-Fi Rush.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it. I thought it was bad business. I thought it went against what they said. I got too much time to get on Twitter and talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I just
ran about it like, how can Microsoft do this to me? I've given them my money, but
yeah,
people were. That's how people were in this situation. That's how people were when Square talked about, oh, we're not going to do exclusive on PS5 anymore. I was like, do y'all have lives? Like, really? Do y'all have lives?
games.
I don't get it, Brian. I really don't.
I don't either. That's why I stay away.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's Ghost of Tsushima. We're not watching the trailer, but I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you know what the game looks like.
Yeah.
Next up is a game that just has a really cool title. So I'm like, oh, I don't care what it's about. We have to watch the trailer.
Okay.
Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta that title.
I'm interested already.
Exactly. Switch and PC. A woman summoned by an eccentric man to participate in a project in an old hotel somewhere in Central Europe becomes embroiled in a game of illusions, increasingly dangerous and surreal. Now you are invited to fall into the same rabbit hole in a non-linear mystery with an immense amount of handcrafted puzzles, constantly presenting you with new riddles to solve, each leading you closer to deciphering the the enigma of Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Now, this is from Annapurna Interactive, and we talked about them before, and they're known for these sort of indie story-driven games. So when I realized that after the fact, I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. So I'm glad we are watching the trailer.
Okay.
And last up this week, you have Read Only Memories, Neurodivers on PS5, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, which is weird that is on PS5, Xbox One instead of like PS4, Xbox One, or PS5, Xbox Series.
Yeah, why is it not on the series?
Well, look, I'm fine with that because it's backwards compatible, but why is it on PS5 and not PS4?
You know, there was another game that's coming out. Oh, because you know the new Assassin's Creed trailer dropped today.
I do, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, well, there's been a little discourse on the internet, at least from what I saw. Like people were wondering why it's only going to be on PlayStation 5 this time, like no PS4 at all.
Oh, that makes sense. It's the new.
I mean, it made sense to me.
At that point. We're at that point.
I can agree with that.
I'm glad that things are still cross-gen because I'm still in last gen.
Right.
We are what? It's 2024. We're 4 years into the new console cycle, or 3?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah,
because it came out right before COVID, and then COVID was like, you're not buying anything.
Okay, yeah. So we're like 4 years. So we're like halfway through the console cycle.
Mm-hmm.
When is the new Assassin's Creed coming out? Is it this year?
I don't remember seeing the thing on the trailer, which is crazy. I watched it twice. I believe. Let me see. I want to say it's coming out later this year, but I don't want to misspeak. It's too many Assassin's Creed.
That is true.
You put it Assassin's Creed, it's like
bazillion.
Right. Hey, which one are you talking about? Assassin's Creed is $70. Damn, just tell me when the shit come out.
Right.
Oh, November 15th.
Okay, so it's this year.
Yeah.
Look, we're halfway through the console cycle. That makes sense. I don't look, as much as I would like, oh, that would be cool. No, it makes sense for a AAA game like that to only be on current gen systems.
Yeah.
I don't see why anybody would be upset about that. Xbox Series systems, PlayStation 5, and PC. And then more than likely, a couple months from now, we'll hear about Switch 2 and it'll be dropping on Switch 2 next year, whenever that comes out, whatever. But that makes sense. But this, for it to be on the last gen Xbox, but the current
gen PlayStation,
that makes no sense. And then the Switch and the PC makes no sense.
Maybe it's a Sony thing.
Maybe. Or maybe it was a typo and they meant to play anyway. Because that doesn't make sense. That's not logical. All right.
Yeah.
So Read Only Memories, Neurodiver is a story-rich adventure and the sequel to 2064 Read Only Memories. Explore the rich world with an intuitive point-and-click adventure as you take on the role of a young psychic agent tasked with taking down a mysterious antagonist hiding in people's memories. Sounds like Ghost in the Shell.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds very Ghost in the Shell-ish.
A little bit.
Yeah. That's our games for the week. Let's get into our first trailer, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. It looks good.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like so many different sort of homages in this. That looks so cool.
It does.
That looks
I've never
really
seen
cool.
a game like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Look, how often can you say something like that?
Right.
All right. Next up, we have Slayers X Terminal Aftermath, Vengeance of the Slayers.
Let's watch some slaying.
This is Zane. I am the CEO of Big Z Studios.
Crazy.
You thought you heard the last of me? Well, you did, until now. Truth is, I've been biding my time, and having companies approach me to have the best shooter in the world on their console. With the power of Hackblood, and in memory of my fellow X-Slayers, Mikey and Stephanie, rest in peace. Spoilers. I am happy to reveal that my game will be coming to Nintendo Switch and PlayStation on May 15th. With a vengeance.
See how he talking? That's how he was supposed to read the caption.
Now, you can fight the Psycho Syndicate wherever they are, even crapping a turd in a toilet that looks a lot like Mevin. Become the most powerful X-Slayer on every platform. Not as powerful as me, though.
This dude played too much Duke
Destroy the Psychos to revenge.
Right.
Spoilers. Fight evil poo babies and bust up toilets through different levels. Then, hack into the most powerful psycho computer in the world. Once and for all, destroying the Crybaby Syndicate. Once and for all. Whether you're spawning rats and blowing up Jestas with the sewage launcher, or destroying psychos with the power of the Hackblood Talisman, you'll be invincible against Mevin and his stupid turd pile minion. May 15th. Don't mother flip and forget, and become the ultimate X-Slayer.
The ultimate. Okay.
Oh, that was funny. That was a bad way, but it was funny nonetheless.
I like a game with a lot of personality.
Yes, I'm gonna have to download
Like
it since still on Game
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Homeland 3.
Which Homeland.
It was a simple perimeter scan, escorting resources. But we were ambushed by Kalan raiders.
trailers.
Fighters were no problem, but the missile frigates were a different story.
So cutscenes and gameplay.
Command got clever. One wing used cover to keep themselves safe on approach. While another group found a tunnel in the structure to sneak behind them.
This look really cool.
Really good sense of
Work.
Right.
Before a carrier battle group arrived.
Open with this one.
We scrambled bombs.
Really.
Perfect for attacking capital ships.
This one was only.
We protected the resourcers while they hauled in the goods, which meant we could roll out assault frigates.
Cleared hot. Let's take it to them. Stay on them. Break contact.
The raiders weren't pushovers, but command countered their hit-and-run tactics. The way their carrier exploded, beautiful. And we
Damn.
grabbed a little souvenir. That missile frigate is ours now.
All right, Formula 3. Not my cup of tea, but it looks impressive.
See, stuff like that. Those would be the games that you play one time and then you be like, oh my goodness, why I didn't never play the first couple ones.
You got a point. You got a point.
I like real-time strategy games, so okay. But PC, oh, well, okay, yeah, got the PC right here. I need to start just crack Steam open and just start buying. But then no, back catalog. It looks good though.
Exactly.
I want to play that game.
I feel you. All right, Brian, what's going on with you this week, man?
Nothing. Nah. I'm preparing another episode of Talk+Play Blurry Pod. Gonna cover, all things Drake and Kendrick. This beef here is it's just been enjoyable to watch. I've had a great time enjoying all this music. And two of my favorite artists have just been in the streets just slinging mud. I like it. So we're gonna talk about that.
BL Drizzy.
But yeah, that, and obviously gonna talk X-Men 97. I'm gonna watch the new episode tonight. And I started a new anime just out of the blue, and I'm really, really enjoying it. That's pretty much it. It's been some other stuff happening with video games, whatever, that I might touch on, whatever. But other than those couple things and maybe some new music here that I've been listening to, it's gonna be a regular episode of me talking about the same shit I normally talk about.
Gotcha.
What about yourself? What you got going
on? Went to Philly, Fan Expo Philly.
Okay.
So, the last time you saw me, let's see, my interview with Public Studios is up, Concrete Comics is up, Paragon Uni is up. My girl Ren, who's a lifestyle correspondent on the channel, her second episode of her Ren's Playtime Corner is up, where her and I pretty much go in the rabbit hole after seeing this clip about good men, and we have a hour plus long discussion about that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my interview with Jeff Ryan from Philly Fan Expo Philly, as well as my interview with Frenchie from J Motor LLC is up. That dropped, and that was today. And then also, I recently went to see Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in theaters for the first time in 25 years. So my thoughts on watching that movie again in the theater after 25 years. And then the rest of the week, Superhumans Work Studios, my man Donald Brazo from Multiplies, and then my full Fan Expo video is coming out, as well as my B-roll vlog video of my trip to Philadelphia and Fan Expo. And then next week, by the time you see this again, my It Came from Temu Part 2 will be out, as well as my interview with adult star Scarlet Skies. So all that's coming out within the next 7 days.
Damn. You got a packed week.
Yeah, 7.5 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Busy.
Keep an eye out for it.
And I still got more to edit.
I bet. It sounds like.
Look, I still got episode 181 to edit that I got all together. I just got to do all the stuff with. So that'll be out that'll be out probably next week too. So yeah, there's a lot going on over here.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. But you know where you are, ladies and gentlemen, nerds of the world. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at New Release Wednesday, on X or Twitter, or did Elon figure out what he wants to call it yet? Oh, I don't care.
I think he's settled on
At
that.
the NRW. Look, he ain't making issues anymore, at least for the most part. Now it's about Neuralink, but that's a whole nother topic. But on X or Twitter at the NRW, and of course, you're currently on YouTube, so make sure you like, you share, and subscribe. Not subscribe.